Hello, friends. I'm Thomas Christ, and this is probably the last Vlogmas video. Technically, so this is the one. This will be for day 24. But what we're gonna do tomorrow is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna hop on a live stream tomorrow. I'm thinking around 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I know it's Christmas Day, but I'm not doing anything. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to record an entire song on a live stream from beginning to end. It may be a rather long live stream. I won't blame you if you don't watch it live. Hopefully you'll catch the replay at some point. You might want to fast forward through some parts, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna try it out. It's a little experiment, and I wanted to just touch on experiments briefly because I'm in an experimentation phase right now. And so what I've been doing is just kind of trying different things. I've been messing around with this DJX keyboard. I've been messing around with apps on the iPad that I haven't used, like Pure Acid, like Bliss Alpha, and a number of other things. And we're just trying to come up with some new approaches that will give me some inspiration as we go into the creation of this new album, The Creator. And that's going to be the focus of what I'm working on for 2021. Can you believe it? It's almost 2021. It's coming up. Anyway, but experimentation is very important. It just helps you to try new things and get out of ruts that you get stuck in and come up with new ways to approach doing the things that you do. So I happen to think experimentation is very important, and experimentation can lead to a lot of great discoveries, which will then lead to songs that will hopefully be better or at least more interesting than or interesting in a different way than songs that you've already created. So I happen to like experimentation, and I think it's an important phase in the creation process, especially when you're going into a new album. So that's what I've kind of been doing so far. Now, what I wanted to do today, since a lot of you have expressed, and thank you very much, appreciation and interest in my Christmas song that I did a couple weeks ago. It's Christmas Day again. I thought we would do just a little bit of a mix breakdown and take a look at what I did. Maybe I'll remember some of the things that I did. So let's take a look at Logic. And this is the project. A lot going on here. That's actually more than I thought there was, but let's just take a look and see what we had going on here. So the drums were just Anders, our good buddy Anders, the auto drummer. And I broke it up into sections, and for each section, I can go in, and we'll try to anyway. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just go in and you can do, set your settings up in here. They're not all, we're kind of on a limited, well, I could probably slide this over. Yeah, you could see the other side. And then so if you haven't seen Drummer within Logic, you have details, and then you can change the feel. You can add less or more ghost notes. We have a lot of ghost notes going on. And then you can change whether the hi-hats are going to be more closed or open. It looks like they're mostly closed here, but we also have the automatic switch on, so it's probably figuring that out on its own. You can also, I think that's about it for that. That's interesting. Other than that, it's the same old virtual drummer that you've come to know. So that's what's going on, and we can just take a listen to a little bit of just that track. Now, if you'll remember, we have that bus going on with the delay that's filtering out. It's just the high frequency delay. So we can actually go into the mixer. And there's and there's also some distortion on that too. It's this channel. So we have EQ, and that's selecting for just the high frequencies. It's just a single EQ. And then, because I think that's just a low cut. And then we have the pedal board with distortion, and then we have the echo. So that's what was going on with this drum track. So if we go back to the beginning, we'll take a look at this. Now I have the bass. There's actually three channels of bass. There's the regular bass, and then there's two tracks with effects, and this is with the step effects. So you have in Logic, you have these step effects. Let's see if this will show up here. So this one of them was using the Bubble Groove preset. I may have made some slight alterations to this. I can't remember exactly. And then here we have the step effects on this synth effects, which used the Anthem gated space. And this one also had the pedal board because it has some distortion from that. Because there's some really good distortions in the pedal board. If there's one weak point in Logic, it's probably the distortion effects are not that fantastic, but you can get some additional ones through the pedal board. So let's just see what we have going on with a little bit of this bass group. So we'll unsolo the drums, we'll solo this. Here we go. And this was off of the DJX keyboard. And then here's where some of that synth effects comes in. See, and that's all. That's all. What's changing the sound is the step effects. And then, of course, if we fly out to the bridge, let's see if we can find that quickly. Here we are. Then you can see what that second synth effects bass group is doing. And of course, what I always do with drums, and so what I do with the drums as far as EQ, this is going to take a second. Yeah, we do a low cut below 50 hertz for the drums. We've accentuated some frequencies there a little bit, just above 100 hertz, and then we've accentuated some of the high end just to give it a little more presence in the high end. And for the bass, all we did was a low cut, and that one was just around 50 hertz. So, and everything else is just flat. So that's the bass and the drums. Then we have this the sound effect in the EX24 was called Crotalis. I don't know what that is, but anyway, I should be able to play it on keyboard. Or not. Maybe that's not going to work. I wonder why that's not working. Yeah, it's not working. Okay. I don't know why. But anyway, it's kind of a bell sound. So let's just see where that comes in. We can. Oh, I know why it's not playing, because I don't have it. That was soloed. That's why. So there you go. So that's a Christmassy. I think we'll agree that's a Christmassy sort of bell sound. That comes in here. Let's go from the beginning. That comes in here with I believe this is the verse right here. So it's just doing that, just a single note. But in the mix, it kind of works. And then when you get to the chorus, it does something a little different. It does this. And you hear it in the context. So it's kind of, you only hear it a little bit, but it just adds that little bit of Christmas color to it. And then at the beginning and end, you also have the sleigh bells. And the sleigh bells have some automation. So let's go to the sleigh bells here. We'll take a look at, go up to Mix, Show Automation, and you'll see that they ramp up. So they come in a little softer, and then they get louder through this intro. And then at the end of the track, they do the reverse. They just come back down in volume. So I don't tend to use a lot of automation, but there's a place where I did use some automation. Then we have the synth. And the synth, this comes from the DJX keyboard also. And what kind of do we have any processing on that? Yeah, we have some tape delay. We have the Space Designer. I use Space Designer. Now, if you've never seen Space Designer, I know it's in GarageBand on Mac, but this is what it looks like in Logic. You get, you have all these controls. So you can really kind of customize this as much as you want. I tend to just use the presets. You also get a ton of presets. So you can see you have small spaces. And I tend to use the small spaces because what we're trying to do here is just emulate being in a room. So we just use wet small room. And then, so that sounds like this. And it's using that Carol of the Bells melody. Do, 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 do. And it's just a single note here. The alarm is ringing. And then when you get to the chorus, yeah, it changes midway through the verse there, you can hear, but here's the chorus. This is where you hear it a little bit more here. There's some pitch bend. You can hear with that tape delay, it adds an extra layer of delay. Then we get to the guitars. So we have a bunch of guitar tracks. This is the guitar centered, and that will be mainly like I think that's on the intro. Yeah, it's on the intro, and then on the verses. There is, right here. So let's take a listen to that. Let's see what it's doing here on verse 1. And this is just, so it's centered right down the middle. And then it breaks into the stereo guitars here on the chorus. And we have that grouped. This is a track stack. That also, the bass was a track stack. So what you can do is you can group a bunch of tracks together and put them in a track stack. It's kind of like using a bus, but it's a little bit better in some ways because you just kind of have all these tracks grouped together and you can see what's going on rather than it happening sort of behind the scenes where you have to go to the mixer and look at it. You can actually see this grouping of these tracks. So then we have a left and right, just doubled. And you'll see what I did here on this transition from chorus to verse 2. So there's kind of scratches or clicks. So that's basically what's going on with the guitar. Shoot, I don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah, and then you get into, this is the part that comes in on verse 2. This took me a long time to record because I'm not great with solos, but I eventually got it. And I think I had to do a little editing too. Yeah, there at the end. But you can't even, it's seamless. Can't tell this one little note I had to add in separately. I had to punch that one in. Anyway, so then let's go on down to the final element, which is the vocals. And the vocals were pretty simple on this one. I did do a scratch vocal track. That's muted. Is anything unsolo these? So the scratch vocal track. Don't want to embarrass myself and listen to a little of this.
Waking up, I'm blinded by the sun, beaming through my window.
I mean, actually, the scratch vocal wasn't that bad, I don't think.
The alarm is ringing loudly, like a siren disco. Bells are ringing all over town, and I remember why.
So it's pretty close to what it ended up being.
25 days into December with the snow piled high.
Now that was different. I went up on that.
It's Christmas Day again. Don't know how I got here or
Now that was a little different.
mesmerized by the Christmas lights. Not sure what happened in the blackout nights.
Now I don't usually use scratch vocals, so this is a different thing for me. Then we have, so this is all the verse vocals are just on this one track here. So we'll just go, here's verse 2.
Last night on Christmas Eve.
And what do I have? I got a lot of stuff going on. We got a compressor, chorus, this Blue Cat chorus, which I love.
Hypnotized by shining baubles and bells, like a moth to a flame.
We got stereo delay.
Open the gifts.
We got the Space Designer again. What do we have? Realistic Room. I love the Realistic Room preset. And then we have the EQ. We're cutting everything below 200 hertz, or 150 really. And then we have another compressor. It's great Logic compressor. I love the Logic compressor. I usually just use, this is the Platinum Digital. I usually just use this one. It's kind of the default that comes up, but I kind of like the way this one, it's just nice and transparent. It works well. And this is the compressor that's being used behind the scenes if you're on GarageBand iOS or if you're on GarageBand Mac. This is the compressor, but you just can't see this part of it. So only if you get Logic do you actually see like the graphic interface and all the controls that are available. In the other case, in like GarageBand iOS and GarageBand Mac, what they're doing is they're giving you some of the controls and then some of the presets. But I think even in here you have more presets probably. You have all these presets. Guitars, voice, yeah. So anyway, so then we come into the chorus, and we have the grouping of stereo vocals, left and right. I have it in 2 channels because there was a point at the end. The only reason... Oh, come on. I don't want to drag anything. The only reason it's doing that is, see, here at the end, there was some overlap where I needed to come in with this last part. And so I think these are all being processed exactly the same way. I don't think there's any difference as far as like L2, R2, and L and R. They're all the same.
Not sure what happened in the black of night. Don't ever follow wise men or stars. Just be yourself, be who you
I actually added chorus to the whole group.
Don't ever follow wise men or stars.
So I added chorus to this whole group. Here's the EQ. And so we have a little dip there just above 200 hertz. I think it was because there was some harshness in these vocals for whatever reason. So I just cut a little bit there. And then we added a little bit of like really high end for some sparkle. The Space Designer. What do we have here? I think I actually used, this was Drum Booth 1. I know it sounds odd, but I listened to a bunch of different presets. And this Drum Booth 1, for whatever reason, sounded the best on these vocals. And then we have, of course, the compressor. There's probably a compressor on these individual channels. So the individual ones have a little bit of stereo delay and compressor, and then they have more compressor. It's always good to compress things in serial and sometimes in parallel. But, so that's kind of a rough overview of what's going on in the mix with It's Christmas Day Again. So we'll come out. Hope you found that interesting and insightful. And I hope if you're watching this, if it's currently Christmas Day, I hope you're having the best Christmas day that you can possibly have. If you're watching this later, I hope you had a great Christmas. And So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. Again, this is going to be the last Vlogmas video. Oh, I didn't do it right. Vlogmas video. It's going to be the last one, and then tomorrow I'm going to do an extra long live stream because I got nothing better to do, and I'm going to just try to create a song live on a live stream. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, if you're around, if you don't have anything going on, I know obviously it's Christmas Day, so people are going to be doing stuff. But if you do happen to be kicking around without anything to do, it'd be great to check that out. We're here in lovely Pittsburgh. We got the snow is falling. It's amazing. It's currently is Christmas Day as I speak. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, so it's been fun doing these Vlogmas videos. Like I said, I hope to continue to do some sort of, almost daily content. And, I don't know if it'll be as every single day as this has been, but yeah. So, anyway, it's been an adventure. It's been fun. And, we'll just see what the next day and the day after that brings, but, we'll continue to bring you, interesting content. So, take care. Be well. We'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas. And bye.